All right. Good morning. Good morning once again, class. I wish to sincerely thank us for our attendance this morning. Our topic of discussion for today is still on ledger posting. Okay. Last week we began with this topic. Okay. I have also introduced to us on rules for ledger posting. I wish to take us back to last week's lesson on rules for ledger posting. Okay, now as I've said last week, year 9 we have been posting transactions from analysis chart. Okay, given a transaction from analysis chart, and then we post them to the ledger accounts. But for year 10, for this year, we are posting items from journals to ledger accounts. Now, last week, okay, we have gone through rules for ledger posting. I wish to recap on that once again. For the 7 journals, okay, CRJ, total debit entries credit. CPJ, total credit entries debit. Okay, purchase journal, total debit entries credit. Purchase returns journal, total credit entries debit. Sales journal, total credit entries debit. Sales returns journal, total debit entries credit. And lastly, general journal, same side posting. Okay. And also in our class last week, I have been describing on what is an entry, in a journal, and what is a total in a journal. Okay, as you can see in our rules, there are only 2 items that are repeated over there: total, the word total, and the word entry. So by now we should be aware of what is an entry in the journal. Okay, an entry in a journal is other items that appear on the particular column. Okay, that those are entries in a journal, and total is the total of the journal itself. That is the last figure that we get right at the end of a journal. Remember, when we were preparing journals, it is normally the total, okay, the last figure on a journal, and with that followed a narration. Okay, so that is what we have been covering last week. And for our class today, we will continue with ledger posting. Okay, we will continue with ledger posting, but for today's class, I will be focusing on posting items from cash receipts journal and cash payments journal. Okay, once again, cash receipts journal, total debit entries credit, that is your rule. Whereas cash payments journal, it is total credit entries debit. Are you with me, class? Are you listening?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning, Cecilia. Good morning to those of you who have just joined us. All right.
Madam.
Okay. All right. Now today, okay, our focus is preparing a cash at bank account. A cash at bank account. That is what I have okay, on the bottom right. Okay. Okay, I hope you can see my cursor, where my cursor is. So today we are going to learn how to prepare a cash at bank account. Okay. Now have a look at this. Now I have used color codes over here. Okay, with me is a general journal. Okay, now have a look at a general journal, class. I have a general journal. Okay, and then I have cash receipts journal and also a cash payments journal. Okay, now these three journals class will help us to prepare, or in other words, these three journals, they will contribute towards a cash at bank account. And what are those three journals? General journal, cash receipts journal, and cash payments journal. Now note this down. For a cash at bank account, for a cash at bank ledger account, these are the only three journals that will contribute towards a cash at bank account. And they are general journal, number 2, cash receipts journal, and cash payments journal. Secondly is, let's have a look at the contribution of each journal towards a cash at bank account. Let's look at the contribution of general journal towards cash at bank ledger account. And then we will look at the contribution of cash receipts journal towards a cash at bank ledger account. And lastly, we will look at the contribution of cash payments journal towards the cash at bank ledger account. Okay, now a general journal. Okay, note, general journal rule, same side posting. Same side posting. Now remember, these three journals, they have different rules. They have different rules for ledger posting. Let's look at general journal. General journal rule, same side posting. Cash receipts journal, total debit, entries credit. Cash payments journal, total credit, entries debit. Those are the three different rules. Three different journals with three different rules. Okay, now we are going to post. We will begin posting from general journal, because general journal class will provide the opening balance. Now, opening balance, madam? Yes, general journal will supply the opening balance. How will I know it is an opening balance? Look at the date, March 1st. Okay, date March 1st. Entry in general journal, cash at bank. Okay, follow my cursor, On the debit column, I can see there is a $760. Are you following? Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, madam.
Thank you. Cash at bank debit column 760. Let us post this cash at bank that appears in general journal to our cash at bank ledger account. Same side posting. Debit column to debit side. Debit column to debit side. That is the meaning of same side posting. So, ledger account, date column, March 1st, the same March 1st from up here, from the general journal. March 1st, March 1st. My entry over here, you can see I have used the word balance because this is an opening balance from general journal. That is why I'm using the word balance. You can see that I have 760 over here, the same 760 from general journal. And lastly, you can see, class, I have posted this cash at bank to the debit side using the rule same side posting. So over here, same side posting means from the debit column to debit side of the ledger account. Do you understand that transfer? Yes, no? Unmute yourself, respond to me. Respond.
No, madam.
Same side posting, respond to me. Yes, no, yes, no?
No, madam.
Yes, no?
Madam.
I cannot clearly hear you. Just use your message, type.
No, madam.
Type yes, no, use your message that is there on the chat room. Do you understand? Do you understand? Are you following? Okay, great. You don't understand. Let me repeat myself. We are going to post this Keshet Bank from your general journal to the Keshet Bank ledger account. Your rule is same side posting. Remember, those rules that we are learning direct us only to which side of the ledger account you are going to take it to. Remember, there are two sides of a ledger account, a debit side and a credit side. Yes? A debit side and a credit side. Now, same side posting over here would mean from the debit column to debit side of the ledger account using same side posting. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Same side posting.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others? There's only one person responding. There are 10 students who are watching me this morning. What about the 10 other students? Do you understand what is same side posting?
Yes, madam.
Use your chat room, please. Use
Yes,
your chat
madam.
room. Okay, thank you, Emani. I can hear Emani.
Yes, madam.
Okay, yes, from Shannon. Thank you.
Yes, madam.
Okay, good, good. Same side posting class means from the debit column to the debit side of the ledger account. That is why we are posting it to the debit side. Now, listen to me clearly. Listen to me clearly. From your journal, posting items, posting transactions from the journal to ledger, journal to ledger, journal to ledger. What we are learning over here, the main objective of this lesson is knowing which side of the ledger will you post the item to, whether you are going to post it to the debit side of the ledger or credit side of the ledger. Okay, in my lesson last week, okay, I have described a ledger account. The left-hand side of the ledger is known as the debit side of the ledger. The right-hand side is known as the credit side of the ledger. So while posting items from the journal, okay, what you must know is from the journal, where will I place this transaction? Where am I going to place this entry? On the debit side or on the credit side of the ledger account? Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, madam.
Madam.
Okay, okay. Now, the general journal says use same side posting. Same side posting. That means from the debit column, remember, for ledger, I'm using column. For ledger account, I'm using sides because there are only two sides of the ledger account, a debit side and a credit side. So pay attention on the verb, on the term that I'm using. For a journal, I'm saying from debit column, to post from debit column to debit side of the ledger. So column for journal and side for a ledger. I hope that is clear for everyone. Okay, so back to general journal. Back to general journal. General journal says same side posting. So that means from debit column to debit side of the ledger account. So 760 debit column to 760 debit side of the ledger account. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, madam.
Okay. On the date column, I'm using March 1st because that is the same March 1st from your general journal. This March 1st correspond with March 1st on the general journal. On the particulars column, you'll see there is a change. There is a change. In your general journal, there is your entry is
Bank.
bank. Are you following? Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Can you see my cursor?
Yes, madam.
Right.
Yes, madam.
Right. In general journal, my entry is cash at bank account, cash at bank. In my ledger, I'm not going to use cash at bank in my particulars column. That is wrong. You can't. You can't. If you are preparing a cash at bank ledger account, your entry will never be cash at bank again. Let me repeat that. If you are preparing a cash at bank ledger account, your entry can never be cash at bank account. That is why I'm not going to use cash at bank, but instead I will use balance. Why? Because this cash at bank is one of the opening balances in my general journal. So I'm using balance because it is an opening balance from my general journal. Clear? Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay. Let's move to the second journal. Cash receipts journal. Cash receipts journal. Now, cash receipts journal is the second journal that will contribute towards cash at bank ledger account. The question is, what is it going to contribute? Is cash receipt journal an entry or a total? What am I going to take? An entry or a total? Now, look at this. Cash receipts journal. The word cash is appearing over here. So cash, cash and cash at bank. So there is something common between cash receipt journal and cash at bank account. The word cash. Therefore, we are going to post. We are going to post the total of cash receipts journal. We are going to post the total of cash receipts journal. Rule: total debit entries credit. Now, since we are going to post the total, so we will use the rule total debit. Total debit. Since I'm going to post the total of cash receipts journal, I will use the rule total debit. That is why you can see on the debit side, I have total receipts. Yes, no, yes, no?
Yes, madam.
Okay, on the debit side, I have total receipts. And this 1871 class, 1871, sorry, I have placed my cash at bank ledger. This 1871 it will appear over here. This is the total of cash receipts journal, 1871. And the date, I'm going to use 31st. 31st, that same 31st over here, class. 31st over here from CRJ, the same 31st here on the date column. And my entry, pay attention on my cursor, my entry, I'm using total receipts because that is the total of cash receipts journal. Using the rule, total debit entries credit. Over here, I'm using the rule total. So total debit. So come to debit side, come to debit side. On the debit side, your entry will be total receipts, your total 1871. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
Yes, madam.
Only Eman is responding. What about the others? Total debit. Does it make sense?
Yes. Yes, madam.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you. Let's look at our last journal. Cash payments journal. Once again, I can see the word cash over here. Cash for a cash at bank ledger account. Cash payments journal for a cash at bank ledger account. So once again, for cash payments journal, our rule is total credit entries debit. Total credit entries debit. Now, since cash payments journal, okay, the word cash over here, therefore, we are going to transfer the total because of this word cash. So total credit, you go to credit side. Total credit, you go to credit side. So credit side, let's go to credit side. Date column, March 31st. March 31st. Look at my cursor. Okay, March 31st, March 31st. My entry class will be total payments. Why? Because this is total for cash payments journal. Total payments. And my figure, 1864. 1864. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Talk to me.
Yes,
Talk to me.
madam. Yes, madam.
Yes, total credit.
Yes, madam.
Total credit, you go to credit side. Total payments, 1864. Total payments, go to credit side, 1864. So, let's just quickly go over the three entries again. General journal. General journal provides the opening balance. General journal provides the opening balance. Same side posting from debit column to debit side of the ledger. Cash receipts journal will supply the total because cash receipts journal is named after cash at bank. So total debit, that is why we're taking it to debit side. Cash payments journal is also named after cash at bank. So total credit, that is why we're taking it to credit side. Once again, same side posting from debit column to debit side. Cash receipts journal, total debit, that is why we're taking it to the debit side. Cash payments journal, total credit, that is why we're taking it to the credit side. Question time. Question time before we balance off our ledger account. Question time. Feel free. Are we all clear?
Yes, madam.
Are we all clear on that?
Yes, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. So lastly is balancing of ledger account. Year 9 work, year 9 work, year 9 work. Take out your pencil, just write down your steps to balance your ledger, take out your calculator. Let us total our debit side. Press enter. 760 plus 1871. What is your total? Unmute yourself. 760 plus 1871, total debit side. What is your total for debit side? 760 plus 1871. Total debit. Total debit. Hello. Talk to me. What is total debit side? Unmute yourself. I hope we are still not on our beds. No one is responding. Thank you, Shannon. 2631. Okay. Now, 2631 is total for debit side. Now, calculate total for credit side. What is total for credit side? What is total for credit side? Total credit side? Total credit.
339.
What is total of credit side?
2631.
No. 760?
3398.
No.
5495.
No. Debit side 760 plus 1871. Look at what I am adding. Look at what I'm adding. 760 plus 1871. It gives us 2631. Now, what is your total for credit side? You ignore my working. You ignore my working. Okay, what is total of credit side? What can you see on the screen?
1864.
Good, 1864. So total of debit side is 2631 and total of credit side is 1864. Are they equal? Are they equal? Are they balancing?
No, madam.
No.
Madam.
Now that is where balancing comes in. Okay, so total debit is 2631 and total credit is 1864. Now you take out 2631, 2631, follow my cursor, 2631 becomes total for both side, debit side and credit side. Total for both sides, 2631, 2631. Now, the side of the ledger that has a greater total debit side, that is, I'm going to tag that side as balance brought forward. Since debit side is greater, I will tag debit side with balance brought forward. Since credit side is lesser, I am going to tag balance carried down. The side which is a greater total, balance brought forward. The side with a lesser total, balance carried down. Now, how did I get this 767? 2631 minus 1864. Press that in your calculator. 2631 minus 1864. Yes?
767.
Thank you. That is our balance. 767, 767. That is how I got my 767. Total of 2631 minus total of 1864. Is there any question?
Madam.
Okay. With the remaining 6 minutes that we have, let's have a look at a general journal and cash receipts journal to prepare a furniture ledger account. Okay, once again, general journal, same side posting. Cash receipts journal, total debit, entries, credit. Okay, can you see furniture in your general journal? Follow my cursor. Yes?
Yes, madam.
Thank you. Now,
Yes,
back to date column, March 1st. March 1st. Now, given March 1st, once again, this furniture is an opening balance. So look at this opening balance. Furniture. Now, where can you see that 860 on the debit column or debit or credit column? 860
Debit.
on that debit.
Debit.
All right. Now transfer. Now you're going to post that 860 using the rule same side posting. Now go to your furniture ledger account from the debit column to debit side of the ledger. So debit side, date March 1st, my entry will be balance since it is an opening balance. On my general journal, they use furniture. But as I've said, I cannot use furniture again since I am preparing my furniture account. Therefore, I will use balance as my entry. So balance on the debit side and your 860 on the debit side of the ledger. Are you following?
Yes, madam.
Same side posting. Okay. Let's go to cash receipts journal. Now look through your particulars column. Can you locate one furniture over there? Furniture?
Ma'am, March 8th.
Thank you. On March 8th, I can see furniture over there. So that means furniture is an entry in cash receipts journal. Furniture is an entry. Therefore, total debit entries, credit. So where do we go to? We go to credit side of the ledger. Furniture is an entry, entries, credit. So you go to credit side of your ledger. So look at this on the date column, March 8, as mentioned by Emani. What is our entry? My entry will be cash because that is coming from cash receipts journal. You may ask, madam, can't I use cash receipts journal? No, you can't. You just use the word cash or cash at bank. So figure, look, follow my cursor. Furniture, $50. That is the same $50 that is here. Entries, credit. So after that, then you balance off. Total of debit 860, total of credit is 50. So 860 is greater, therefore 860 will be total on the debit side as well as total of the credit side. Since debit side is greater, balance brought forward. Credit side is lesser, balance carried down. And after that, you calculate the difference. 860 minus 50, it comes to 810. Right. That is the end of your ledger. Okay. So in our class tomorrow, we will try and post item from purchase journal, purchase returns journal, and sales returns journal. Okay, so for this week, we will be just focusing on ledger posting. Okay, in your free time, please go through our class video again. I will post this very soon on our Viber group. Then you go through the video once again. Okay, and then you try and attempt those activities on ledger posting. Okay, otherwise our assessment has been given. Okay, tomorrow we will quickly look at one question on source document. Okay, and then we will continue with our ledger posting. Okay, once again, thank you very much for today. Okay, thank you very much for today. Convey my sincere gratitude to your parents. Okay, I will meet you tomorrow, and all the best in your assessment. Okay, while attempting, please read through the question properly. It is an open book test, so no one should get anything wrong unless if you do not understand. Okay, so read read the question, look for the relevant notes, and then you attempt. Okay, and then you attempt those questions. Okay. Once again, thank you all, and goodbye. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Madam, bye.
Goodbye.